It's my last day, right?
Okay.
We'll talk about it.
So today is just going to be a review for what's on the midterm. Should be pretty easy. The important thing is that you read the question in its entirety. Don't look at the first 3 words and assume you know the answer, because you're probably not going to do very well. And this is worth, I think, 30 points, so essentially 3 assignments. So it would be in your best interest to try your best. And it should only be 45 minutes long. I don't think I've updated that. So there's 20 questions, like 20 or 19 questions. So you have roughly 2 minutes on each question, and there's a bonus on there as well. So
wait, question: can we take this outside of the class? Outside the classroom? But it's 45-minute time limits.
Yeah, 45-minute time limit.
Okay.
So you don't have time to look up every single thing. So pay attention. So we talk about what types of variables there are. What are some types of variables? Integer, that's one. What's another one?
String.
What is it?
Forgot the actual name.
String. String is one.
Float.
Float. What's a float?
Like a decimal place?
Yeah, just a decimal. Integer is just a whole number. Positive or negative. What's that? Yeah, Boolean. True or false. It's a Boolean. That's the only 2 things that Boolean can be. It's either off or on, yes or no. So, good. There's a couple questions I ask you. I'll say like, hold on, let me get that. So I say, what kind of variable is this? What kind of variable is it? String. That's right. Easy. Okay. What do you call a loop that's inside a loop? So what is this right here?
Oh, while loops.
It's a while loop. That's right. What gave it away?
While.
You don't have to write this down. I mean, this isn't going to be on the test. I'm just giving you an example.
Nested loop.
There you go.
Yeah, let's call it a nexus.
It's a nested loop. That's right. So is this an example of a nested loop?
Yeah, whenever it loops inside the loop.
Yeah. Granted, this would go on forever because I don't have a. So now it's not an infinite loop. What will this do? One of the things I ask you to do on multiple questions is what does this do? And I expect you guys to look at it line by line and say, okay, x is equal to 0. And then it's saying while x is greater than 12, which it needs to be less than, otherwise it's not going to do anything. While x is less than 12, for y in range 0 to 12, print y and x. And then counter. So what's the first iteration going to do?
Go from 0 to 12.
0 to 11. No, I think it does actually go to 12. Let's find out. Oh yeah, I got it. Well, I want it to be part of the for loop. Gosh darn it. There we go. So it goes to 11, but not including 12. So essentially, the first time it goes through, it's going to be 0 on the left side all the way through 12, whereas 0 will still be on the right side because x is still equal to 0. So I want you guys to be able to look at it and say, this is roughly what it does. Which all it is just going line by line and asking yourself, what does this line do? Okay, what does this line do? Really simple. I want you to be able to read code and understand at least somewhat what it's doing. What language are we using? There you go. Easy. No one should get that one wrong. So what's a function? Yeah, something that does something. Either user described, user created, or it's built in, right? What are some more built-in functions in Python? Any of the math functions? Square root is built in. What's another one?
Shapes. Like import square or circle.
Yeah, whenever you tell it to do, yeah, whenever you call square and it draws a square, yeah. Regex isn't, well, I guess like the find all, like read.find all would be a function, but the regex itself isn't.
Import?
Yeah, import's a function. What's some of the user functions that we've made? Everyone here created functions. What was an example of one of them?
Triples assignment.
Yeah, triples. How do you write out a function?
You gotta define it.
Yes. Whenever you first create it, you got to define it. What's the command for that?
Define
DEF.
whatever.
DEF. Yeah, just DEF.
DEF. Okay.
And then the name of the function. And what do you put after that?
Then close brackets.
Parentheses. Yeah.
Parentheses and whatever it is.
Yeah, and then whatever variables it has inside of it. Yeah. And then what do you end it with? It's important. And then a colon. Yep. Yeah. And then a colon. When do you use colons?
Whenever you want to put something in between parentheses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you want to do a range, you can use them within ranges or slices. It's more or less telling like this is not the end of the line. Like this is like what's an example of when you use a colon? I just did one.
Well, you'd use the structures of loops.
Yeah. Because essentially what putting a colon at the end of the line says like, hey, this is a decision, this is a loop structure, and everything that's after it that's indented is included.
And so can we just think as a colon as just a bookmark holder that's trying to separate? It's like a sandwich for your code in a way. We think of it like.
It's like saying like it's like an ellipses. It's like here's my for loop colon. It's like saying dot 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 everything below it.
So it's kind of like how you just have the for y in range 012 colon, and on the next line, basically saying as long as this right here is met, this right here needs to be done as well.
Right. In other languages, they use curly brackets, so it'd be like for each x in list. Essentially, anything that goes in between that, anything in between those two is included during that for each loop. So Python, in its infinite grandeur, decided to do forced formatting. So you have to use the tab for decision structures. The tab and that together does what the curly bracket does in other languages.
I think that's similar.
I think curly brackets are simpler because you just got to do that, and then you can do. So then do all that crap between those curly brackets. And usually it's proper to put the match curly brackets up, so that curly bracket belongs to that for each. But it's however you want to do it in other languages. Other languages don't force you to use tabs and crap like that. So it's kind of it's self formatting and self documenting. Python is. So some people love it, some people hate it. PHP you can include multiple lines. An end line in PHP, for example, would be do that, and then you can add something else. An echo. So it would echo hello losers altogether. You'd have to put a space. Actually, I think it would print on two different lines. So, but that's just Python. So just hashtag just Python things. Some of them I have your idle open and type out what I have. If you feel confident, you can read it and see if it'll run. But it is up to you.
There's only one attempt on this.
Yes. Why would you have more than one? This is a midterm. This is a test. You don't get redos in interviews.
Actually, surprisingly, we'd actually get a couple attempts at some work with my other classes.
Well, this isn't your other class, so
I
this is a big boy class. Or girl class. I'm not. This is a big person class. So, what else? That one you guys will probably have to type out. So the formatting on my quiz kind of gets borked because of just how it's set up. So you may have to fix. So I have like a 4 in range, and then some numbers, and then under it says print. You'll have to tab print over because it kills the tabs and spaces and crap. So assume that, and it also page or return carriages. So on one of them, it's a print line, and then it prints a bunch of stuff, and then it jumps it down a line because that's just how it does it. So put it all on one line when you deem it important. I don't do crap like, I'm not trying to trick you. I'm just trying to get you guys to think. Whenever I ask you to do something very specific, do it very specific. If I say print my name first, how do I do my name? Well, it's L-E-E, capital L, lowercase e-e, space, capital M, lowercase c, capital W, A-T-R-S. If I ask you to print it like that, print it like that. That's what the hello world, half of you guys got part of it wrong because you didn't put a damn comma in, or you just did it however you wanted to. The thing about coding is you have to pay attention to the details. If people ask you for a very specific program, you need to make that very specific program. If you put in your own flair, it's not going to do what they want, and they're not going to pay you. So all that work you did is worthless. Or you're going to have to go back and redo it, which just means more work for you. So keep that in mind. Don't be cute, because I'm not grading these, the computer is. So if you're cute, if you try to be cute, it's going to grade it wrong, and I'm just going to laugh at you. That's funny to me. We already talked about that one. I throw in some PHP in there. I'm not asking you to know what all the commands do. I'm just trying to get you to read through line by line so you can understand possibly what it does. It should be fairly easy. What does this mean? Does not equal to. In PHP, you can add 3 parentheses or 3 equal signs. That means it's explicitly equal to. So
Python is 2 equal signs. That means it's equal to.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. I don't think Python has the 3. In PHP, this one is this explicitly equals that. So if there's any deviation whatsoever, so sometimes checks, sometimes matches will give you back either false or null. So whatever, we'll just call this So if you can't find something in PHP, it'll give you either a false or a null depending on how you word it. And if you do this 3 equal signs, it's explicit. It has to equal false. If you get a null, it's not the same. Whereas if you just do 2, null is also false. So, but that's not really important in this class. But just don't if you look at the PHP and it looks weird, don't overanalyze it. It's there. So. What do I always tell you guys to count whenever you're doing stuff?
Spaces.
Count your parentheses.
Count your parentheses, count your spaces, count your quotes. Anything that has a buddy, make sure that they always have a buddy. You know, if you use a double quote here and a single quote here, it's not going to work. If you have just a single quote here and nothing, it's just going to pretend like everything is part of the string. So count those, count your parentheses. You guys seem to have a real problem with that. So I'm going to beat it into your head a few more times. Count your parentheses. If you have a problem, if you're getting in some like line parse error expecting parenthesis, don't look at just that line. Look at the line above it. Look at 2 lines above it. Just count your parentheses and your quotes and your spaces. Your spaces.
No, these are pretty much highlights it for you anyway.
Yeah. So. Talked about that. Talked about reading stuff. What is pseudocode?
It's an outline.
Yeah.
of what you're-
Just a basic outline of what you want your code to do. If you're building a large code, you can do pseudocode of what this module does, this module, this module, this module. So you get the basic idea how everything's going to work together. You can start thinking about the program as a whole, rather than just starting from scratch and going, well, what do I want this one to do? What do I need it to do? So yeah, there's 19 questions. 19 is a bonus. It's worth 2 points, so if you miss 2 other ones, you can still make 100. Easy. Easy. Alright, that's about all I want to talk about. Any questions?
When is the quiz opened up?
Should be open up now.
And you said due by Wednesday?
It opens up at noon. So, no, it opened up this morning. It is closed October 13th, so what is that, Sunday? That is next Sunday.
Saturday.
Yeah, this is mine right here.
How did it do that?
Saturday after next.
I swear to God, it changes what I want. All right.
That's yours again.